Yeah, I hear this.
Okay, we gotta go. Quick, drive!
Oh, Ducky, I saw you on here last night. Doing the same stuff. Oh, he left.
Oh yeah,
You ran away.
Ducky's usually.
I saw you on here last night. No, I saw you on here last night. Same voice, same profile, the same avatar.
That was today.
Why do you think it's funny to joke about rape? Why do you think it's funny to joke about raping people?
Cause I think it's amazing. Anyway.
It is. It's the greatest experience you could ever have.
Okay, Kai, this is not how you cope.
Is that one bad? Like, is that bad or not? Should we go to a different lobby? Let's go check upstairs. The weirdos are always upstairs. Let's go check upstairs real quick.
Let's go check upstairs.
Let's go upstairs.
Explain to me why you're milk, Kai.
Oh wait,
I'm
maybe
not-
this
She was
person.
talking about how she was talking about how she's gonna fucking murder me and shit. I was like, go ahead, pull up. I want you to. Pull up.
Tukatsu. Do you mind if I talk to you? Just one-on-one real quick? Or go over here?
Nah, you can talk to me here.
Do you mind if I just
I
talk
don't
to
want to
you?
go. I'm gonna get raped.
Are you sure?
I don't feel like it. Yeah, I'm gonna get raped. Yeah, I'm
And
sure.
also, I don't really think that rape is funny, so let's not joke about that. But I just want to ask you some questions. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't think rape is a funny thing. But let me ask you some
I'm
questions,
gonna say
right?
right.
What's the
They
age rating for
went out
VRCHAT?
dressed for it. They went
Yeah,
out
what's
dressed
the age rating for VRCHAT though?
What do you mean age rating? Like 13 plus?
What's the age rating for VRCHAT? 13 plus, right? And
Yeah.
how do you feel about people who are 13 years old getting exposed to like NSFW or sexual content in any sense or any way? How do you feel about that?
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
That's disgusting, right? If I was the person,
Yeah.
if like me personally, I was to consciously or unconsciously, if I was to intentionally
Where's my
or
copy?
consciously show a child anything that's sexual, and if I knew that I was showing a child something sexual and I continued to do it anyway, right, and I didn't stop, how would you feel about me?
You'd be weird.
You would be a
would
pedo.
be
I'd be weird. I'd be a pedophile, right? I'd be
What's
a
your point?
pedophile, right?
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, I'm just
I would
asking
report you
questions.
immediately.
I just got
Okay.
I just got like maybe 5 more questions. That's 5
I'm
max,
listening.
right?
I'm listening.
And what would you want to happen? What would you want to happen to me if I was choosing to do that and I was consciously doing that? Like, what should happen to me? What's some punishments that I should face?
I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, you should definitely get
I mean,
banned.
Yeah.
I should
You've
go
done a
banned.
lot.
Should you still? How about my friends? Should my friends continue to be friends with me and like talk to me and hang out with me?
It was like a therapy session, but no, they shouldn't.
Also, you're
No,
talking
right?
to a minor, so it's like a little weird.
Yeah, I am a minor.
Oh yeah, sure. So Tats, let me ask you another question, right? How old are you, man?
Yeah,
Since you're a minor, how old are you?
17.
It's in their
Well,
bio.
17 years old. Okay, that's awesome, man. Let me actually check your bio really quickly. That's a good idea.
I
And,
think
I check yours as well.
more interesting than the bio.
The groups. So once again, right? You said, hey, pretty much anybody who's showing children sexual stuff in any way. Oh my goodness, you're a pervert, man. You're a 17-year-old pervert. That's gross. But
I don't get it.
what I'm trying to say is,
Teenagers
yeah,
aren't
what I'm trying to
sexual.
say is,
I've
yeah, I'm sorry, don't be a pervert. But what I'm trying to say is, if you think that people who are intentionally or consciously, right, distributing or showing or like letting porn be viewed by minors, and they know that children are viewing pornography, and they don't
I
stop
will.
what they're doing, they're
I view it.
pedophile, right?
I view it.
But
I'm a
yeah,
minor.
You're
Sexual
using
maturation
this
is normal.
avatar. No, it's
normal.
not. It's never normal for a child to view pornography. But
Once they
what I'm
start
trying to
going
say
through
is that.
puberty, it's normal. That's when your body is ready.
So is
but
it legal?
It's not right.
So is it legal?
Have sex.
But is it? It's not right.
No.
Exactly. There you
Not
go.
legal to
It's
have
not legal.
sex.
It's
We
not right.
have
You could-
for generations viewed porn before.
That's
Nudie
amazing.
mags, it's
That's
been a
amazing.
thing for a long
That degenerate.
time.
That's amazing that you're using that degenerate talking point, but the fact remains that when a person under the age of 18 is viewing porn, or if an adult is showing, or if a person is showing a child pornography, like let's say a 17-year-old is trying
Well, that's
to show a
different. If an
13-year-old
adult is showing
pornography.
That's
Okay,
different. If
sure.
an
Let's
adult
say
is
a
showing,
17-year-old is showing. So
no,
let's say
that's
if
also
a 17-year-old
different.
is showing a 13-year-old pornography. Is that okay or is that wrong?
It's a little weird.
I mean, it's a
It's
little
not
weird, or
weird.
is it wrong? I asked if it's wrong.
It is wrong.
I wouldn't fucking.
Do you
It's
believe
wrong,
that
right?
sexual maturation
I'm
is
not
normal?
going
If
to.
a minor
Like,
is
I'm
showing
not
another
going
minor
to.
sexual content, is that wrong or is that right?
It happens all the
Somebody
time.
has to show them then.
But
this.
I don't care if it happens all the time. It's a simple question. If a minor is showing showing another minor pornography? Is that
normal
right or
sexual
wrong?
maturation is normal.
I don't
Somebody's
care
gonna
about
see
your.
it. You
I don't
have to
care
be
about your
exposed to it at some
philosophical.
point.
So Zeta, is it a good thing that children are exposed to porn?
Sex ed
I
is
just watched my
normal.
copy again.
Zeta,
Eventually you'll
is it
be
okay
exposed to it.
for children to be exposed to pornography? Is it okay for children to be exposed to pornography?
This is an incredibly loaded question.
Is
Of
it
course not.
okay for children to be exposed to pornography? If a person is 17 years old and they're showing a 13-year-old child pornography, right? A child. Is that right
I'm
or
still
is
a
that
child
wrong?
and I'm
Zeta?
17.
They're both
I'm a
children.
child. I'm a 17.
So a child
Alright,
is
so if a
showing a child
17-year-old
porn.
is showing a 13-year-old porn, is that right or is that wrong?
It's certainly weird.
Okay, that's terrible. You can't say that's wrong. It's such a simple question.
You shouldn't.
Is
You
it
shouldn't
right or wrong?
excuse it. You
I
should
said
just-
it's certainly
wrong,
weird,
but it happens.
It's not great.
Okay.
Sexual
Well, what I'm
maturation
trying to
is
say
normal.
is
You can put any amount of sexual exposure as wrong. These kids are going to have sex. They're going to eventually see this stuff. It's actually pretty normal. Eventually, people have
Yeah, but
sex.
if they find
But is it
Wow.
right or is it wrong?
Then if they
Is it right or is it wrong?
Exposing is
Because
It is right to
because
sexually mature.
because
It is
so,
right
so
to
let me
sexually
give you guys
mature.
an example. Let me give you an example of why Zeta's argument is kaput, right? Because 200 years ago in America, it was completely normal, right, for people to own slaves. And actually, as a rite of passage in a lot of southern states, a parent would give their child a slave, right, in order for them to have responsibility and property, right? And then also, it would be at younger ages, a slave, that slave that was appointed to somebody just so that they could take care of them.
because they're both
So
different
obviously,
laws,
what's
and the whole thing of
what's
the law
normal in
is it's become
society?
normalized for them. Now it's bad. So this is
Yeah.
getting
Sexual
What's
normalized.
maturation
normal in
is normal.
society? What's normal is in society is
I'm
not
failing
always
all my
what's right.
classes, dude. You gotta
Because
dumb
you
this
think that
down
it's normal for
heavily.
children to be
Sexual
exposed to
maturation
pornography.
is right. Sexual
I'm sorry,
maturation
but
is
I'm
right.
gonna. Yeah, that's disgusting. So you think that children being exposed to pornography is right?
Sex ed is
So
normal.
children
Sex
being
ed is
exposed to
right.
pornography. I didn't say sex ed. I said
Sex ed
pornography.
is normal, and
Kinks and
sex ed is
sex
right.
and
I'm
porn.
shitting.
Pornography.
Squirtle,
Is that okay
Actually,
for children
kinks
to
are
be
normal.
exposed to?
You should be educated about
So
kinks.
you.
Catch my roast
So
toy.
Zeta,
I really
once
don't
again,
see what's
do
wrong
you
with
think that
children
children should be
viewing. At least
exposed to pornography
teenagers.
and
No,
kinks
here's the
and
thing.
sexual
You,
themes?
teenagers shouldn't
I
like.
think children should be educated.
They should be sent.
This is coming
Before
from
they
it.
On
educate
what?
They find it
themselves.
themselves, then it's
On
fine.
what? On what?
But it's
Sex.
still going to be
LGBT
It doesn't
So
matter
how
how
should
they
they be? How should they be? How should they be
We
educated?
should just say
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not
okay,
okay.
that's fine.
They
LGBT.
go out their way to find it on their own.
There we go. Now
You
we're
put that way, you put that way, you put that way, you
I
put that
knew
way.
you just hated
Oh,
faggots. That's why we were talking.
Yeah, I had to block him. So, Tukase, right?
Piece of
The
shit.
Wait, what
entire
happened?
purpose of me talking to you about this, I had to block him
I
because
said,
he
I
just
said
said
children
some
should
really
be
nasty
educated
stuff,
on sex topics,
right?
including
I wanna talk to you
LGBT
because you
issues,
seem like you know how to have
and
a
he immediately
conversation.
called me a
The point I'm
bigot.
trying to make,
There's
and the
so
reason
many
why I'm talking
different
to you,
ways that are more normal
right?
to educate it instead of.
I agree.
The reason I'm talking to you
I
is
agree.
because you're using
Don't call
avatars
me,
like
I'm
this in a
31.
public lobby. There's children in this lobby currently,
Yeah.
actually, and your avatar is very exposing or inappropriate. You said that people who
Yeah,
are
that's okay.
exposing
I like my
themselves to
avatar.
children
I like
are
my
I
avatar.
was
pedophiles, right?
sexually active at
You
home.
said
They
that
blocked
people who
me.
expose people who expose
shit.
themselves to children or do what you're doing are pedophiles.
Why
That's,
is there
that's what you
a
said.
big thing of
And the fact that you're
I'm a
continuously
pedophile for being a
using this
minor.
avatar.
I'm a pedophile for being a minor.
What in
A
Yeah, you're a
17-year-old
pedophile
showing a
for being gay.
13-year-old pornography.
Wait,
A
guys.
person who is showing
Please
children
don't forget
pornography
this.
is a pedophile. When you're using these avatars, these sexual avatars in public lobby,
I'm afraid
it's
to
very
be
wrong.
Wait, you think I'm afraid for being homosexual?
put them feet away.
Guys,
Maybe.
wait.
This person that
Is
blocked
that
me.
guys?
Is that
Guys,
well
hold
put?
on. The truth of it is,
Yes.
I'm a potato.
Oh, damn.
He's a potato, guys. What I'm trying to say to you, right, is that there are children who are coming onto this game constantly,
No,
and
it's
they are
alright. They
being
can view
exposed
me.
to pornography,
They can
right?
view me. I like how I look.
The fact that you're 17, you're about to be a grown man, right? You already
Yeah, but
are a
I'm-
grown man, pretty much.
No,
right?
yeah, but I'm
In
not a
some
grown
states
man
and in
yet.
some countries, you're 17 years
What?
old, right? You're about to be a grown man. You're a young man, and you're deciding instead of being a mature, right, young adult, you want to come onto a 13+ game, right, and display pornographic avatars to people in this game that could be 13 or 14 or even younger.
How
That
is
is
this pornographic?
weird, and that is very perverted. because you have that's not even a bikini, bro. That's
Bro, you
I'm not
see
even
women in
entertaining
this
that
all the
question, right?
time at
I
the beach,
encourage
bro.
you at the beach. No, you don't, because actually in
That's the
New York
problem
City,
with
if you wear stuff like
Puritans,
that, there's ordinances passed by the previous Mayor Cuomo, that you can get arrested or fined for wearing stuff like that. So what I'm trying to say,
Hi, Kai.
Maybe in your area.
what
not
what
in
I'm trying
mine.
to say, yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that when you come
Hold
onto
on,
the
maybe
Just like
Hi.
watching this.
yeah,
Because
sure.
the
When you
thing
come
is,
onto a
watch me
13
for
plus
one
date,
day.
right?
It's
What type
just
of
a
attire
Puritan
should you wear
thing.
around 13-year-olds? Should you
Yeah,
wear
yeah,
skimpy
yeah.
should you wear skimpy? Should you wear skimpy or risque clothing in a place where 13-year-olds are going to be?
On the
No, he
beach,
called
I
me a
see people
pedo
wearing that,
immediately.
yeah.
I didn't ask for
Suggesting
that.
that
Beach. What's the
women
appropriate?
educated.
So what's the appropriate
Yes,
clothing
but
for
the
a
way you're
beach?
speaking about it does very
A
much make you
bikini
seem like
and
you're
Okay,
for women,
so
a
what is the
bikini
appropriate
and-
clothing for a
No,
place where
kids
children
should be
are?
educated.
Would you go to a middle school or a
Yeah.
library
Kids should be
and
educated.
show children your
Wait, but
bikini
children go
body?
to a
Would you
beach.
do
Wait, I'm
that?
literally
yeah, but
confused.
why?
What?
But why? It's not
It's
illegal.
a simple question.
There's-
Would you go to
Children
a
go to
place where
beach.
children are actually in certain places
That's
called
how
indecent
Puritan
exposure
sexual
and be
abuse.
arrested?
I personally
Would you go to
Not
the
about
middle
kids,
school?
not
But I know there's
like
Okay,
that do.
but why, if you would not do it in
that.
real life, would you come and do it out here?
The science is there, but you're presenting it wrong.
Girl, this
Well,
whole
why
argument is
doesn't
so
they-
flat.
I don't need to
I'll be
present
on
any
the
sort of
Why is it
video
appropriate for a person to go into a
Oh.
place where children are and show them sexual themes
On
or
the
sexual
internet.
things? Because you said
On
yourself,
VRCHAT.
if a person who is 17, you said yourself, if a person who's 17 is showing someone who's 13, right,
Anyway.
pornography, that is very weird,
Okay,
right?
so-
And I'm assuming that you think that person could be a pedophile, and yet you're making the conscious decision, right, and the intentional decision to come into a game that's made for 13-year-olds. You agreed to it when your friend confirmed it, and you agreed to it, right? When there are children on here who are 13 years of age.
Losers
I think that's
arguing
really
on a
weird.
video game.
Do you agree with that?
He came up to me
Because you said
arguing
that.
about this.
No, I asked you a question. I asked you a couple of questions.
So
I asked you a couple of questions.
This has not been a couple of questions. This is a whole fucking essay.
I know, right?
Well, I encourage you, right, to stop being a pervert, because in the groups that you're in,
I
right, you
encourage
shouldn't be
myself
embarrassed.
to,
You're publicly
continue.
representing them, right?
It's okay. No, it's
Degenerates,
okay.
EP
It's
girl,
okay.
feed, right? Verified shy, jerkmate. You have porn websites inside of the groups that you represent, right?
Oh,
You're a
I do.
17-year-old
Thank you.
boy. You need to become a man, right, and stop jerking off all day and being a pervert online, showing children
What's wrong with
pornography.
that?
Okay.
It's part
I
of
think
my,
that you
my
need to stop
hormones.
being a pervert. No, I'm sorry, but it's in my hormones and it's in every man's hormones to go
Yeah,
and sleep with
exactly.
as
Then
many
you should
women as they
understand.
can,
Then you should
right?
understand.
So,
Then you should
should
understand.
men cheat on their girlfriends? Hey, let's ask the crowd. Should men cheat on their
That is
girlfriends? Because it's
important.
in
Why
my
is
hormones.
this
Simple question.
restrictive about
Simple
pedos?
question.
It's fine.
Because it's in my hormones,
Squirrel, you
right?
couldn't know that.
I should do
Completely
whatever I want
different
to.
topic.
I should be
Cheating
a
on your
pervert,
girlfriend is a
and
completely
I
different
should be a
topic.
pervert because I have my hormones as a man. So should you guys, as a man, right, cheat on your girlfriend because your hormones tell you to do so? Because your DNA tells you to sleep with people and pass along your genes. Should you listen to your genes, or should you have a sense of morality?
Fucking cross
I'm almost there. Keep talking. I'm almost
Just answer the question. Anybody. Just anybody answer the
Wait,
question.
what was the question? Want to repeat that for me?
Yeah, you're staring into space and other space.
When I told you that you should not be a
Give me
personal
one of these,
right?
like,
You
slow
decided to say it's in my
asynchronous
hormones,
blinks.
right? It's in every
Stop.
man's
I can see
hormones to be a pervert.
everything,
It's in
okay?
every
I
man's
don't have
hormones
to
and in
do
his
that.
DNA
You're
to sleep
like
around.
You're like a fly. You're
It's
like
I don't
confused and nothing else.
It's in every man's hormones, right, to be a degenerate or a pervert. Just like monkeys, right? They
Like
go
a
around and
funhouse
sleep with
mirror
as
for
many
your,
women as they
like,
can,
Way
right?
possible.
So
Take this
How
out
one
somewhere
would
else.
does. They
trying-
should make
when
it
you're
where it's
trying
teen for
to
everyone,
make
and they
it
should
so
make it
that
where it's
your
like teen for teen.
hormones are the reason why you can
kill
do
me
whatever
where
you
it's
want and
specific
expose children to
specific
pornography.
certain skins,
There's a
and you're not
problem
allowed to
with
wear
that.
some
Do you
skins.
understand that?
He came up to me. I'm
Genius. Please,
You
you're
understand
trying
that
to
or
take
not?
notes from me. I should.
No, I don't understand that because you're making no sense whatsoever. Thank you.
I'm sorry that I'm making no sense. But
So
No, yeah.
are you a trusted
sorry.
user? Are you a trusted
No.
user?
No need for that.
No, I'm
You're a
not.
known user. Okay. I'm gonna upload this interesting conversation to YouTube because it's so crazy that the moment that the shift is the
ahead,
perspective
I'd like
is
to see
shifted
it.
onto you, you
I'd
backpedal
love to
because
watch
you
it.
said that
I'd
those
love
people are
to watch it.
pedophiles. You said that it's weird, right? And then the moment I say, hey, but
Post
you're
that
the
shit to
one who's
YouTube, but
using
do
this
not
stuff,
post
right?
any
And then
potato
this
part,
stuff,
bro. That was
That's actually
the
a problem.
funniest shit
that was so funny. That was so funny.
So,
But it's just really so weird. It really is. I hope
Wait, that's
that when you
actually
turn
a
18 years
reported
old, you're a grown man.
Pushing
I hope you turn
me
18 and
on
you're
the
a grown
internet with
man.
his children? Whoa, buddy, you're pushing
I hope
me
that
on the
as you
internet
grow
with his
older,
children?
because you're
With
going to be a
people
grown man
younger than
soon,
13?
you realize that posting pornography or sharing sexual themes online, right, is
That's actual
affiliation
value
towards
right
children.
there.
You know, what are you going to say, Kyle?
13 plus game, bro.
I was trying to say, I've been
That's weird. Don't reflect because you realize
He's blocking. Did he block you?
this game to even be able to make it.
Of course. But you also see that there's like, I'll just list a couple of YouTubers who have thousands of followers. Zimmery, right? Jumpers, Democracy, Royal, Venture Club, Dapper's Coffee Corner, Proximity Chat, right? Shomru, Sanctuary, Aspect Cell. These are all YouTubers with thousands and thousands of followers, right? Who I give these clips to, and then they make their own little voiceovers and they upload them to their YouTube channels, right? Urvla, for example. And oh wow.
Does that avatar ever blink? Do I have to show you to get you to blink? Because
there you go.
creepy. That it's just like.
I have a friend that's
But what I'm trying to say is that these people, they are gonna change slowly but surely. And just like with Roblox had gotten
It just takes forever.
whatchamacallit, they had gotten sued because they were not pretty much. Sorry. Alright, I was a little distracted. Because Roblox had recently gotten sued by their investors because a YouTuber named Ruben Sim, who started off very small and continuously made videos, exposed them and all the pedophilia that happens on their app, right? The thing is, the more and more you do something, right, and the more and more YouTubers that are sharing this covering this stuff, the more and more people are going to realize there's a problem, and then somebody who has the power to is going to intervene in this. Oh my goodness, I gotta turn on my earmuffs on. So loud.
One thing that just
Also, just like that person right there was just like using a nude avatar in order to spite me for the conversation I was having.
I know, right?
the dude that you were calling a pedo, the
Indecent
thing,
exposure.
No, I wasn't. He said himself that he's a pedo because he was deciding to show children pornography or sexual avatars on a kid's game.
I was trying to say to them because they're saying that you're calling them a pedo, and I'm like, well, the thing is, if I'm being honest, they're giving themselves that own image by the way they're handling the situation.
That's why I
They
didn't
have
call
the
them
right
a
idea, but they're not presenting it right. They're not
I didn't
presenting
call them
it
a pedophile. Yeah, I didn't call them a pedophile. I asked a question describing exactly the scenario that we were in and the things that they were doing, and they said people who are doing the things that they were currently doing without being conscious of it, right, are pedophiles. That they're weird. That they shouldn't be doing those things, right?
Isn't it worse if
then when I said,
hey,
hey,
they're doing it as well?
yeah, but the moment that they become conscious that I'm talking about them, it's like I'm eating food and I'm chewing with my mouth open, right? I get told by somebody chewing with your mouth open is gross, isn't it? But I don't realize I'm chewing with my mouth open. Then they say, hey, you're chewing with your mouth open. Oh, how dare you tell me that I'm chewing with my mouth open? Same thing. They're showing porn and sex to children. That's really weird that people show porn and sex to children, right? Yeah, I hate people who do that. So you hate yourself because you're doing that. How dare you say that you hate me?
I don't understand the argument of, oh, it happens regularly, so it must be normal.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Like,
that's actually a pedophile argument.
So
The best, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're presenting it wrong. The best way I really got to one of them, which they're probably still going to change, but the best argument I could give to them was, it's not okay. It's going to happen, sure, but let them do it on their own. Don't spread it. Don't pass it on. Let them find it on their own.
I would say if children are finding it on their own, I would say in order to protect the innocence of children in a world that is becoming more and more degenerated, where almost 154 children in the USA of every single day, 154 children are sexually exploited online and offline, right? Much more online than it is offline, right?
Oh, of course.
These people, these children, why is it that children and exploitation of children and sexualization of children is exploding? Because adults are becoming more and more perverted, we're becoming more and more degenerated as a society, and we're going onto games like Roblox, right? That's where they recently got sued by their investors, right? And like VRCHAT, that are made for 13-year-olds, and we're deciding to be perverted on here, going onto Discord and Snapchat and all of these other applications, Instagram, posting pictures of ourselves. So now that people's arguments are, hey, at the beach, don't people wear lingerie? No, people don't wear lingerie at the beach. Porn stars do that, and then they get arrested.
Reason that you don't have kids there. Like,
yeah. Exactly. And then the fact that these kids or 17-year-old men, right? Because he's pretty much a man already. They're making these arguments just shows the state of the world that we're living in.
Like me, as a fully grown
What's your question?
So, according to the literature I've read in psychology, the number one way to fight child sex abuse, and this is coming from a victim who is very adamant
I'm sorry.
fight, knowledge and education is one of the best tools. The kids being able to know what's happening
100%.
so they can say no.
That's right.
Is it yellow?
That's right. I agree with that.
Here's the question. What line do you draw between perversion and education? Because they have to know of the topic.
Is the tip yellow?
So you want to know the line, right? If you search up biology textbook, when you search up human biology textbooks, which is what they use in sex ed, they show bisected human beings most of the time without skin on their bodies, right? And when they show the organs that are sexual, they show the bisected organ with colors, showing the actual veins and parts of the muscles and all the things that happen, right? They never really show pictures that are sexual, right? But my comment and my point and my stance was, right, that these people are actively showing children sexual things like porn, like sexual avatars that are jiggle physics, etc., etc. And then the last thing is, right, that if I go in front of a child and I start wearing underwear and showing off my bulge and then writing it off as sex education, I am a pervert and I'm a pedophile, and that's the bottom line. So when people are coming into VRCHAT with their headsets on and they're literally viewing adults being perverted in first person with their VR headsets on, that's a big problem.
Someone get this nigga on.
Is it yellow?
Nigga, what are you yapping about? It's me, Johnny.
Is the tip yellow?
Don't be a pervert, man. You need to go find Christ.
If education
guys,
is so
it's me,
important,
Johnny
you
Sins.
not only
Oh my god, it's Johnny Sins from iconic episodes of Johnny Sins.
You also need to understand the culture.
It's
The
classic adventures of Johnny Sins.
The reason it became prevalent in the West is because we had such a taboo topic.
Hey guys.
I disagree 100%. I completely disagree with that. We have educated children. In places like India, where sex it was extremely normal and talked about, that is the #1 country in the world for child marriage and also for child sexual abuse, because they're so lax and free with it. In Sweden, the age of consent is 15. Children are exposed to pornography and sexual themes as early as 9 years old.
India doesn't even have like a fucking age of, and India didn't even have an age of consent for a long time.
Yeah, as early as 9 years old. You also see that Sweden is the rape capital of the world, one of the rape capitals in the world, where children are constantly being exposed to pornography, sexual content, and are getting raped. The fact is, you are letting sex be an open topic for everybody to talk about, and for everybody, like in theory, the psychologists, they can write their theories, but when you look at history and when you look at actual real world evidence and actual real people, right, you see how detrimental that will be to those people. That's why I'm on here trying to say, hey, I got a couple of hours of my time. It seems fun, right? I can make videos on this. These people are being perverted and they're literally trying to pervert children. VRCHAT has a huge pedophile problem, same as Discord, same as Roblox, and I'm trying to help combat that. So when I'm talking to these people who are actively saying, I'm having...
I've been on here for 20-something years. Jesus fucking Christ. I get what you're saying. Like, but at what point is it really the platform's problems, or that the fact that these issues happen on so many platforms, so many communities, so many issues, is the issue have a different root cause? Like, we can blame Roblox, we can blame Discord, we can blame Twitter, but people are going to be on all these platforms regardless. They'll be on Blue Sky, they'll be on Mastodon.
Sure. And what should we do to those people when we catch them doing weird stuff? Should we allow them to continue and perpetuate the culture of being a pervert on a kid's game? Or should we call them out for their perversion and try to get them to change and think about it differently?
You can call them out, but I also think there needs to be a better way of addressing the issue. Because if you're just going to be conflicted, you're not really helping anything, and if you're just attacking people in niche groups, you're not really going to.
Of course not. Yeah, of course I'm not doing that. I'm not attacking anybody. So True Lunar. True Lunar.
He literally comes up, he starts a small conversation, and then he also brings up what they're doing that's weird. Most of the time, the actual, like, aggression comes from the person that they're talking to.
Exactly.
Because they don't like being called out on their shit.
Like this person right here, Tyler Burden, he literally, after I had the conversation, he didn't like what I was talking about, so he switched to a nude avatar, I don't know why he has it, and started dancing in front of me. So, the thing I'm trying to say is that I come up to you, let's say you're chewing with your mouth open. I say, hey, don't you hate people who chew with their mouth open?
Chillax, nigga.
You say, yeah, I hate people who are chewing with their mouth open, right? Unaware that you're the one chewing with your mouth open. Then I say, hey, you're chewing with your mouth open. How dare you say that you hate me for chewing with my mouth open? I never said that. You yourself said that you hate people who chew with their mouth open. You agreed that people who chew with their mouth open is gross. All I did...
That's just something everyone learns eventually.
Yeah, and everybody needs Christ. That's the real solution of it. But I thank you for talking to me, man. I appreciate you.
A lot of people find victim blaming as like the best defense for some weird reason. I don't get it. Like literally, even the person before that, the person that was like, "Oh, so I'm a pedophile." They're saying that you blocked them because they're gay. The fuck?
What?
Yeah, they made it a fucking sexuality thing. They made it a sexuality.
What's wrong with these people?
I don't get it myself.
Alright, well, yeah, I'm gonna go over here.
Squirtle.
No, you're right.
Do you think that
Let's see what the
kids
avatar
don't develop
is.
sexual attraction? Puberty starts at like 12.
Yeah.
Squirtle guy, I hope you know you're like.
That does not. Okay,
That's like that's the most basic observation of my life.
Hold on.
That's so stupid. You don't just because you're going through puberty does not mean you need to be exposed to pornography.
Squirtle.
So should they all wear burqas?
Squirtle, guys.
What is she talking about?
Remember, pornography is not sex ed. Everybody remember, pornography is not sex ed. There are two different things. Pornography is specifically made for people over the age of 18. He is trying to equivalent pornography to sex education, and that is an unequal, it's a fallacy.
I have no interest in the kid, obviously.
That's why I had to block him, because what he was saying was so gross.
Yeah.
The point
Actually,
You understand that sex ed and pornography is not sex ed. You understand that, correct?
I wouldn't say that everybody agrees, but yes, I do agree that a healthy mind doesn't equate that.
Okay, so
Should they be educated in LGBT rights? That's my only question.
No.
That's none of my business. I have
There we go. We found it. It's only the faggots that are pornography. Congratulations.
No, I didn't say that. Do not put words in my mouth.
Yeah, why would you say that? Why would you say that? That's not cool. That's not cool, bro. Why would you say that?
I don't care about any of that. I care about the fact.
That's fucking crazy.
I don't care if you're trans. I don't care if you were cis. But if you're exposing children to pornography, it's an issue.
I completely agree with you. I completely agree with
You
you.
don't have to jump in.
Okay, so we can agree.
He was saying he was going to rape people earlier. He was saying he was going to rape people earlier. What are you talking about?
Okay, no, I'm
What do you mean, mind my business? That is my business.
I agree. See, my problem is, most of the time, just like the person who blocked me as soon as LGBT rights are brought up, that is considered pornography.
The N-word harder, you're not going to say anything about it?
Which is not true.
No, because that's
You're
not
going to mind
my
your
business.
business? If you hear somebody saying they're going to rape other people, you're going to
That's
mind
what our
your
current
business.
administration is trying to do. In Project 2025,
If you see someone trying to steal from your friend, you're going to mind your business for somebody. If you see somebody trying to steal from someone else, you're going to mind your business. Well, sorry, but you're a failure to your society for not trying to uphold justice or trying to call out evil when you see it. You're a failure to your society. I'm sorry about that.
Mind your own business because you don't know the backstory. Mind your business.
I did know the backstory. Alright, I don't know the backstory. You're absolutely right. Game Freak. What scenario is it okay to threaten to rape a person?
I don't think.
And what backstory is it okay?
I think the second
No, make one, because I don't know the backstory, right? And what backstory is it okay to threaten and rape a person?
Include all sex ed. It should include
I
normal
don't know.
penetrative sex.
But the
So shut your ignorant mouth. Stop being an idiot. Shut your ignorant mouth. So shut your ignorant mouth. Stop being idiot, okay? Thank you.
It was like a first one in the 5th grade.
Never.
Alright, you know what? Guess what? We're online. I can just lower your mic level. You just shut your mouth.
man's
I
touching
just
me.
shut your mouth.
This
Actually,
man's touching
you have a
me.
good day, though.
I feel uncomfortable. He was touching me, I
Children should know
swear.
nothing about that.